If I can have your attention here in the Media Center, we are joined now by the winner of the Freight Racing 208 here at EchoPark Speedway, Kyle Busch, driver, the number 7 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. Kyle, you've won a lot of these over the years, but today you had to not only race the field but race the clock there at the end. How unique was this win for you?
Yeah, definitely different than normal, but our guys did the calculations to convert it for us, so it sort of made it the same for me from behind the wheel. They took the time and figured out how many laps, and they were giving me the countdown, 5 to go, 3 to go, 2 to go, and then they weren't real sure because they hadn't heard the same countdown from NASCAR, and then we were going into one. They said 1 to go, or coming back for the white, so they were right on the money there. But, yeah, great job by everybody at Spire Motorsports. Appreciate Brian and his attention to detail and the things that he's all about, and then appreciate HendrickCars.com as well, too, for making that Silverado look real pretty and even better in Victory Lane.
Okay, we're going to open the floor up for questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start here at Bob and go to Zach.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Are you aware in those final, 5 minutes that if the caution comes out, the race is pretty much over because there's no overtime or anything in that situation? And if so, do you think that made things more dicey at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I was told, they said, next flag is pretty much going to end it. So we were trying to keep the lead, and you're going to do that in the last 10 laps, 15 laps, even 20 laps of the race anyways, because you want to control the race. You want to control that lane. Early in the race, when you're in the first stage and you get guys that get runs, you can let them kind of go in front of you, cycle around, let it race out a little bit. But there at the end, the bottom lane, whenever it would kind of start inching ahead, you get down there, you side draft them, you pull them back, and you just want to make sure that you're the first truck on the outside.
And, Carson's kind of been in the mix at the end of the last few, last week in Daytona and Truck and Cup, and then here, just kind of what was like working with him, and had you discussed much about how to handle things near the end?
We hadn't talked at all, really. So we, in the beginning of the race there, the first stage of the race, he kind of hung me out a couple times, and I was like, okay, here we go. Great teammate I got today. And then in stage 2, there was a chance there where Hocevar was in front of me, and he started kind of playing the air a little bit, and I was kind of like, okay, this is good. I'm impressed. I got you. And I pushed him, and we made our way. We started ratcheting ourselves back forward, so that was really good, being teammates. And then there at the end, he was back to being my wingman and, keeping us in pace to control the lane and in pace to win the race.
Go next to Zach, then to Holly, then to Chris.
Zach Sterniolo of NASCAR.com. Bob kind of took the question, but in terms of how does working with Carson today and him staying loyal to you, does that impact anything when you're trying to draft together in the Cup race, or is that completely unique to itself?
It's going to be unique, obviously, right? I'm not a Spire Motorsports guy on Sunday, so I'm sure that'll play some differences. But it was nice to see that he's got it in him, right? Where in the beginning of the race, it was kind of normal Carson, all over the place. Not all over the place, out of control, just dicing it up, right? Cutting moves and making plays like I probably once was. But, and then in the second stage, I was able to kind of be his wingman for a minute. That worked real well for it. And I kind of wanted to say something like, see, when you got a guy that'll stick behind you, you can make some headway. But I kept my mouth shut. I just said it now. And then at the end of the race, that's sort of how we played it, where I guess I had the track position, and so he had to play wingman for the day. So that roles reversed. I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to make sure that one of our trucks wins.
We'll go to Holly, then to Chris, and then to Tim.
Congratulations, Kyle. Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. When you are racing here, do you kind of just know that you're going to be able to pull it out? I mean, you have won so much in these truck races, and again today are there when you need to be. I mean, what is the confidence level for you like?
It was dipping. If there was a confidence meter on me, the start of the race was at 100, and then as we getting through the second stage, it was down to about 40. Just because of it seemed like everybody had talked, and they're like, nobody's helping Kyle today. Because every time I pull out a lane and look for 2 or 3 to come with me, to go with me in order to get back up to the front, not one of them ever, came to my rear bumper to kind of push there. Middle of the race, Hocevar did once, and then he kind of tucked back in line and went around me. That's when I faded the worst. But that's when I got back around behind him, and then we were able to ratchet our way forward. So it just seemed like in the beginning, in the middle part of the race, I was having a tough time making the moves that I remember being able to make last year by myself and getting my way further up towards the front, where, today it was harder to do that.
Go to Chris, then to Tim, then to Jordan.
Hey Kyle, I'm Chris Gollin with Above the Yellow Line Media. First of all, congratulations. What was your reaction when you saw Carson join with the burnout there, it being the Spire 1-2 finish?
Yeah, I was I was doing my burnout, and as I spun around, I saw him hanging out over there, so I was trying to position myself to kind of go his way, and he just wanted to give a high five, so we kind of did it as I was rolling on by, smoking the tires. So that was cool. Great of him to come out there. I mean, he deserved it. He was the reason we won the race today, right? And so nice to kind of celebrate a little bit together and have him out there for that moment of victory.
Thanks, Kyle. Congrats.
Thank you.
Go next to Tim Packman.
Tim Packman, HeavySports.com. You answered the host of our part, the battle back and forth with Stuart Friesen, because you guys were dicing back and forth there until he faded, but you had to look over a couple times and back and forth. Just comment on that if you could.
Yeah, it was similar to last year. I don't know how that inside lane stayed there as long as it did from that final restart. I was expecting it to deteriorate and go away, and the way my spotter was explaining it to me, I was like, how is he still next to me? Where do the other trucks keep coming from that keep supporting him and pushing him forward? Because I only heard there was 2 or 3 down there or whatever, but I just kept having to play the side draft and through the corners and stay tight on him to pull him back, and then on the straightaways get the push from Carson to kind of get our row going and further ahead and getting the speed up. But yeah, he hung on a lot longer than I expected. Similar to last year, though, it was between him and I coming down to the checkered and who was going to win that race with the drag race to the finish out of turn 4. But just in the perfect nick of time, I got that big push down the back and got singled out and didn't have to deal with anybody for the finish there coming out of 4. So I felt like the race was won, about halfway down the backstretch.
Okay, we're going to go to Jordan, then to Tim Moore, and then we'll wrap with Zach.
Jordan Bianchi, Athletic. Maybe this was the moment. Was that the moment going into 3 where you just seemed like almost hit the turbo button and blew by those guys? You held it down through turn 3. You know what I'm talking about there at the end?
The last lap?
Was it maybe the last lap or the last 2 laps? It just looked like you just.
Well,
right
I was the inside row was getting a good push down the backstretch, and then as the outside row, as the guy controlling the outside lane, you got to get down there and stay tight to those guys and drag them back. And the 52 Friesen got really close of getting clear on me a couple times there, and I was just waiting on the push from behind. I know Hocevar was hot, so he was probably not able to just get the run developed in order to get to me to push me, or was trying to keep his truck as cool as he could keep it. But the way it kind of worked out, I was nervous a couple times that Friesen almost cleared me, but we made it work.
Tim
Moore, Motorsports Day. Kyle, I want to go back to earlier in the race in stage 1. Were you kind of surprised that the field strung out to a 3-truck pack? And also, what was your mindset once you guys got into lap traffic? I know that brought the pack together, but things got a little chaotic.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that. I feel like that's what this place is going to be like eventually when it wears out a little bit more and handling becomes more of the paramount for guys to drive good, to be able to keep the pedal down. Those guys up front, those Fords that were there, the 99, is it the 99? Yeah, the 99, the 88, the 98, I guess was one of them. I don't know. The 99 especially, when he about wrecked me out of 4, if he didn't have the lead, he was going to be falling back because he was getting out of the gas and he was washing up and using a whole hell of a lot more racetrack, and he was the leader. So I felt good where I was at. Like, I wasn't really needing to use that much racetrack, and I was 3rd or 4th in line. And so I felt like if I ever could have gotten to the lead and just been out front, I would have been able to hold it wide open and been good. So we had good speed and good handling. So kudos to my team and Brian Patty.
And you correct me if I'm wrong. I believe now this is 3 years in a row you've won this race in particular here in February. So what is it about this race that just keeps on bringing you back here at Atlanta or EchoPark?
I get told which ones I got to run. So I don't choose it. Trust me, I don't choose it, but it chooses me. So it's, I'll take it when I can get it. So, having an opportunity to run 8 races this year for Spire, I'm looking forward to that. I thank HendrickCars.com for being a part of our program today and helping us have some pretty colors on the truck, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't even know where the heck it's at, but maybe Bob knows. Good call. No? Bristol? All right, good job, G. Bristol. I'll be back at Bristol.
We'll wrap up here with Zach.
Kyle, first win in NASCAR in the last year for a guy who at one point was just kind of automatic over the years. How has that changed your perspective or appreciation maybe for these opportunities to get back to victory lane?
I mean, it makes it sweeter. G comes up to me in victory lane, and he's like, yeah. I was like, you want a photo? He goes, yeah, I'll take a photo. You know, it's been 14 years. Might as well get another one. We don't have enough, right? And I said, well, you never know when the last one is, so you better frickin' get one today, okay? And, I mean, that's true, honest truth. I think I said that for years, even when I was clipping them off at 25 at a time. You just never know when the last one's going to be. So hopefully we haven't seen the last one on Sunday. I'd love to do it again tomorrow and, you know, bring home the Cheddar Chevrolet in victory lane and feed America on Monday. Free Cheddars, Monday. Let's win it, Sunday.
Well, congratulations
All right, good
and
talk.
good luck feeding America tomorrow.